Hello students, today we will discuss about S. Radhakrishnan's essay Democracy. S. Radhakrishnan was an educationist, philosopher, and statesman. He was a scholar of eminence. He was a fellow of All Souls and gave learned discourses on Indian philosophy at Manchester College, Oxford, and as a Spalding Professor of Eastern Religion and Ethics at Oxford. He rose to be the President of India. You know him very well because we celebrate Teachers' Day on 5th September, that is on his birthday. As a philosopher and statesman, Radhakrishnan made a lasting and unique contribution to the way we think about the world and about certain philosophical and social concepts like democracy. Democracy is passing through a testing time as a political arrangement. It is not very popular. It has broken down in Italy and in Spain. Russia and China are not favorably disposed to it. Even in parts of Eastern Europe and South America, where the semblance of popular representative government is kept up, strong misgivings are felt. Lord Bryce expressed doubts about the feasibility of a real democracy, except in small countries like Switzerland and Scandinavia. We welcome democracy as a release from autocratic rule, but we are not satisfied with its working today. We are coming to realize that government is a technical art and only those skilled in it can be the rulers. Democracy, in its actual working, rarely permits a country to be governed by its ablest man. It is an age of machines in politics too. In the name of democracy, some mysterious caucus in the background rules the state. The elected representatives have not any independence or initiative. Since they are helpless tools of a vast machine, the votes of the members are not influenced by their conviction or the arguments in the assembly or even the views their constituencies. The discussion is unreal, the debate is unnecessary, and democracy is only a name. The general effects of democracy have not been favorable to the freedom of the individual. In Europe and in America, which are said to be the most democratic and highly individualistic, individual life is least regarded. In the land of liberty, fundamentalism, Ku Klux Klan, and Nordic assaults on all other races and cultures prevail. There are organizations which threaten dissenting politicians with personal reprisals. In Soviet Russia, no man is allowed to choose what he will do, as technical efficiency is the end. Every man is fitted into the machine at a point chosen by the guides and trained for it. There is no liberty of action or freedom of conscience. Democracy has become confused with ignorance, lack of discipline, and low taste. Our newspapers testify to them. A democracy which reads mainly about divorces and murders, dance halls, and police courts is cultural only in a superficial sense. Though education facilities are within the reach of large numbers, the level of culture is not high. It has become more easy to get into a college and more difficult to get educated. We are taught to read but not trained to think. Popular education, thanks also to the press, the film, and the wireless, has succeeded in furnishing the average mind, scrappily though somewhat effectively, with ill digested bits of Freud and Jung, behaviorism and contraception, and various odds and ends. Those who know better are afraid to speak out but keep step with the average mind. Uncriticized mass impulses, crowd emotions, and class resentments have taken the place of authority and tradition. We have not the time or the competence to judge about the problems that face us, nor have we the inclination to trust the leaders who have a proportioned perspective. As the mass is the most significant factor, its opinion prevail over those of the thinking few. A sort of Gresham's law of mental currency, by which good and well considered opinion is being constantly driven out by that which is hasty, impulsive, and bad operates. There is a tendency in all democracies to standardize thought and belief. Our minds work mechanically. This mechanization of mind is deadly to all creative enterprise. The highest creations are evolved not as the result of thinking according to a pattern, but as the outcome of insight, hard reflection, and solitary meditation of men who are lifted above the common group. Paradoxical as it may seem, democracy in its actual working is anti democratic. Its central motive is respect for the individual. Man be thyself, said Ibsen, and our democracies, and that we conform to a more or less conventional pattern where the inner life runs the risk of being starved. There can be no progress in thought, we all begin to agree in our ideas. There can be no political equality where there is so much economic inequality. Labor, socialist, and communist organizations are attempting to capture the state and its machinery for the end of establishing a better social order. So, national barriers are broken down and class antagonism emphasized. Patriotism is a bourgeois sentiment, and the workers must be rescued from the shackles of nationalist prejudices. My country is my class, says the Bolshevist, and until the class antagonism are set at rest, there cannot be true democracy. The political life of a community depends on the number of independent minds and wills which compose it. The play of thought and action is essential for the health of a community. This cannot be had in the present arrangement. We must strive for some better way of conducting human affairs than the lottery of ballot box. This essay on democracy is taken from Kalki or the Future of Civilization. This essay, written about 50 years ago, expresses doubts about the efficacy of democracy as it was at the time of writing the essay. Dr. S. Radhakrishnan says that democracy is passing through a testing time. Here he means democracy in its actual working rarely permits a country to be governed by its ablest man. The general effect of democracy have not been favorable to freedom, even in Europe and America. Democracy in its actual working is anti-democratic. There can be no political equality where there is so much economic inequality. Dr. Radhakrishnan says we must strike for some better way of conducting human affairs than the lottery of the ballot box. However, things have changed a lot after this essay was written. Democracy, in spite of the shortcoming, is proving to be a better form of government than most other systems. The Soviet Union was disintegrated and is fast moving towards more and more democratic society. The essay entitled Democracy is taken from Dr. S. Radhakrishnan's book Kalki or the Future of Civilization. This book was written more than 50 years ago, and so the ideas expressed in this essay should be read keeping in mind the political conditions of that period. Dr. S. Radhakrishnan's ideas about democracy are however important even today. We know the shortcomings of democracy as a form of government. Dr. Radhakrishnan says that democracy is passing through a testing time. As a political arrangement, it is not very popular in India. After the British rule ended, we formed a democratic government based on the votes of the people of India, men and women. The working of the democratic government, however, has not been very encouraging. In its actual working, democracy rarely permits its ablest man to govern the country. The elected representatives are themselves not independent to say and do what they think is best for the country. Even in Europe and America, the general effects of democracy have not been favorable to the freedom of the individual. Even in these countries, fundamentals still assault other races and cultures. In Russia, the individual has no choice. There is no liberty of action or freedom of conscience. Democracy has become confused with ignorance, lack of discipline, and low tastes. Educational facilities have increased, yet it is more difficult to get really educated. We are taught to read but not trained to think. As the mass is the most important factor, its opinions prevail over those of the thinking few. There is a tendency in all democracies to standardize thoughts and belief. Our minds work mechanically. The mechanization of mind is deadly to all creative enterprise. Democracy in its actual working anti-democratic. There can be no progress in thought if we all begin to agree on our idea. There is so much economic inequality. So long as this continues, there can be no real political equality. In Russia, they are trying to establish a better social order. They think of rescuing the workers from the shackles of nationalist prejudices. They believe that until the class antagonisms are settled, there can be no real democracy. Dr. Radhakrishnan ends the essay saying, the political life of a community depends on the number of independent minds. The play of thought and action is essential for the health of a community. This cannot be had in the present arrangement. We must strike for some better way conducting human affairs than the lottery of the ballot box. Thank you, students. In the next class, we will discuss another essay.